guys, what's going on? And in this video we are going to be going over the transport heists on Deathwish difficulty for Payday 2. Now I know this video may be kind of old because the DLC came out almost a year ago now, or over a year ago. I can't really remember when it came out, but these are some of the hardest heists in the game if you don't know what to do and where to sit, because there really is, on a lot of these, there really isn't that great of cover. You have to be prepared, you have to take the right things. So let's get right into it. For the recommended stuff, I really would highly recommend taking C4, of course. That's upgraded so you can open the trucks faster, and a saw. You've only got so much time to get these trucks open. Now if you don't do that, you can take upgraded drills and with auto restart, and that can work if you're good and you can hold the cops off and get to the trucks. But really you either need C4 or a saw, because the faster you are on these, the faster you can get into cover, the better. These are really teamwork oriented heists. These are some of the harder death wishes, so if you have people with mics, that's really recommended. Of course you can do it with randoms, but it's going to be much harder. I would recommend getting coordinated with a team, and that way you'll know what people have. You'll have skills that complement each other, and it'll be a lot easier if you roll with other people who you can at least know are listening to you. Alright, so due to just how similar these maps are to each other in function, as long as a tip is not about specifically a map's layout, then you can pretty much carry over any advice I give between all of them. They all function in pretty much the same manner, except for, of course, the map layout. And just keep that in mind. I don't want to sound like a broken record or repeat myself for every single map. So the only really random stuff you have to worry about when doing this heist is on what side of the maps the trucks are going to spawn, and if you're going to get money or gold. Other than that, there's not really too much to worry about. Now let's start off with the hardest one, at least in my opinion, which is the park one. And this one is pretty hard because it doesn't have a lot of cover. So what you want to do on this one is get the loot as fast as possible. You know, have 2 guys with C4 and 2 guys with saws, and sometimes you may have to do a 3rd truck, but most of the time you only have to do 2. I believe in this heist you're seeing in the background right now, we had to do 3 trucks. And you want to go as fast as possible and then get to the outskirts of the map and kind of do like laps around the map. This seemed to work out really well for us, and the cops have trouble like catching up. Remember that Inspire is a really helpful perk to have for Deathwish, and faster is better when getting the loot out of the trucks. Hopefully you don't get gold, because gold is a major deterrent on this on these transport heists. Okay, so next up we have the harbor heist, and this one's kind of unique in that it's basically got 2 separate areas. It's got the street area and it's got the harbor area, and the trucks can spawn in both. Now I have found the actual harbor area to be easier. If you spawn on this side, you want to just get the bags and get to the shipping container, and that seems to be a pretty good place to hold out. Now apparently a boat can come as an escape, but I have yet to see that. I've only seen the van. And if you get lucky with the van, you shouldn't have too much of a trouble getting to the van and getting out. Now on the street, it's a little bit more difficult. What we did was with Inspire, and that was me hide in the office up top and just revive people so they can get the bags up there as fast as possible. Now the problem with this one is that you're going to be stuck in this office area camping it out, and you're going to want some anti-bulldozer stuff, trust me. So you're going to want the Thanatos or explosive ammo, and you're also going to want to be lucky with the van spawn, because getting there is going to be somewhat difficult. But all in all, it's not the hardest heist of the transports, but it's definitely not the easiest. Now, next one up is Underpass, and this one gives you quite a big area to set up in. And again, the same issue applies here. You're going to want to have some anti-bulldozer defenses to keep the bulldozers off, because they will come in, I believe, up to 3s at a time, and maybe even 4. And they really will give you a bad time if you're not prepared for them. This one, you do not have to bring C4, although a saw is nice, because you can set up in this long quarter area and just run the drill, and it'll auto restart and keep auto restarting. But Of course, it is easier to just bring the C4, but if you want to have the better like, guns and perks and stuff, then it definitely is useful. So moving on to the next one, this one is called Downtown. It takes place in a city area. This one I think is the easiest, at least in my opinion. It's, you got to be fast again with this one. You don't want to get caught out in the middle. So again, C4 is going to be really helpful. If somebody gets downed out in the middle while you're set up in the apartment area, even with Inspire, it's going to be really hard to get them. So again, speed is crucial. Once you're in the apartment area though, or office complex, whatever it's called, there really isn't too much trouble. Just sit in there. Snipers are going to give you the biggest problem, I think. So you're going to want to try to pick them off before they pick you off. But this is definitely the one you should start out with, I think, because to me at least it was the easiest to do. Okay, so the last one we're going to be covering is called Crossroads, and I've heard some people say this one's pretty difficult, but for us at least it wasn't that big of a problem. Now this is one where snipers are going to be a big problem. It's pretty open out in the middle, but you have a lot of cover in the shop area, so as soon as you can get into there, you can set up a nice base. It's important to note that with Inspire it can be pretty effective to have one player with Inspire to stay in the cafe area, have everyone else trying to get the bags out as fast as possible and just keep getting them up, and then have doctor bags in there. And that worked out pretty well for us. When the van comes, hopefully it will come on the right side, and you're going to want to either wait for the wave to get down. That's not what we did. We should have done that. What we did was just book it right out, and we lost, I believe, one guy, and then I had to like sit in back of the van with Inspire and just kind of prod them along to get into it, and that wasn't a very good idea. So if I were you, I'd wait, like just hunker down and wait till the wave gets over or the cops start thinning out. But we're not going to be covering train heist in this because it's kind of its own separate heist. Alright guys, so that wraps up the guide. I hope it helped you out at least in some way. If you got any of your own strategies you'd like to share, then feel free to leave them below. I'm always appreciative of comments that are, you know, nice but also informative. And again, thank you for leaving a rating on the video. It means a lot, guys. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. I'm out.